Alright, I decided to make a new series on the channel just to spice things up a bit. It's gonna be on Sundays only, and I decided to call it the Drip Check. It is a series where I grab any character that tickles my fancy and rate the fit. Not on a tier list, just from 1 to 10, and then at the end we tally the numbers and see what they get. And for the first episode, it's a game I've been playing for a while. Still haven't finished it, so we're just gonna look at the costumes on a video. And that is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. This will only contain Batman only. Maybe I might make another video for the rest of the characters, but it's just Batman for now. Without further ado, let's get started. So thanks Dan Allen Gaming for the video. We're gonna start off with Absolute Batman. We are only basing it off the game version right here, not too much from the actual lore, because I'm pretty sure a lot of this game reuses assets. So yeah, Absolute Batman. Just from what I'm seeing right here, I like the big axe chest part. It looks really good. The shoulders are a little bit kind of cheap looking. They don't really look like the actual comic counterpart. They look like they're protruding too much. A lot of the things I see in this game is that most of the helmets are kind of samey, but I think it looks fine here. It has the long pointy ear. I think they should be like a little bit more thinner, like in the comic version, the one on the right. They just look like actual weapons that he can use, while this one they look kind of blunt. Otherwise, I'm digging it. It's not crazy. Maybe I like the bad boots. The black shorts are a little bit kind of pasted there. It would have been nice if they could like color the side joints right here. But I think it looks alright. Nothing crazy. I'd probably give it out of 10. I would probably give it maybe a 6.5, maybe a 7. I think 7's good. Next up is the All-In Batman. A new day dawns for the Dark Knight. This is a pretty newish one, I guess. It's unique. I like the blue. Again, I can tell like those. I don't know why there's blue on the legs. While in the comics, it's like it looks all gray right here. Like, where did this come from? It looks a little bit off-putting. The belt also kind of looks weird. Like, what is that middle part? That's supposed to be a bat. I kind of like the gloves. Again, I don't know why they're like going up almost to his shoulders, while in the comic it's only going up to like half of his arms. But it looks alright. I kind of like the protruding cape going from side to side. I think the ears should be a little bit smaller, just because right here they look a little bit smaller. Kind of the samey kind of helmet. Face is alright. The blue, again, I think it should maybe be lighter. I don't know. I think this one's like a 4, 5. I'm gonna give it a 4. Arkham Asylum. I love Arkham Asylum outfit. It's such a classic look from the comics, but in like this very gloomy atmosphere kind of thing, very dark colors. I like the colors they were going for, the gray and all that. I don't get why it has like this black thing right here on the top of the body. I guess that's like supposed to be the cape wrapping around his shoulders, but I think they could have like colored the shoulders as well too. It just looks a little bit off-putting right here. I don't really like that. I like the gauntlets. They tried right there. The belt looks really good. I don't really like, again, how they try to make these look like his briefs. They don't. They look a little bit off-putting. They just kind of look like two triangles going there in his midsection. The boots look alright. I think, again, they really should have colored the shoulders like maybe a little bit black to make it look like the cloak is covering him. But I get why they didn't. Also, the cape, you can tell it's reused because I guess for gameplay reasons they can't really do the cape like that. It looks alright. I think they could have done a little bit better, but for now I'd probably give it like a 6.5 probably. Next up is the Bat Fam. I have no idea what that is. Oops. I have no idea what this is. Holy Knight Batman making the Hewley Tide, right, and just Razor not included. I don't know. I guess it's like a recent thing, 2025. I've never heard of Batfam, so very weird Batman. He just has like a huge beard. I don't know why he's blue. In the show, he's black, so already that's really off-putting. Again, I don't like these triangle things on the pants. They don't look like breeze. They just kind of look like two triangles protruding. I think this one's definitely a miss. I think the only good part they got was his bat signal, but other than that, yeah, it looks like a completely different suit that they just added a code T to. I'd give it a 2 out of 10, and that's being generous. Armored suit from Batman v Superman, if your armor isn't chunky enough. I think they did an okay job with this. I get why they can't make it like too chunky, otherwise, it might impact gameplay. I like how they gave it the short ears. Maybe they could have made it a little bit shorter like in the movie, but it looks alright. Shoulder pads look pretty good. I like the detail in the middle. It looks fine. Yeah, this one actually looks like a pretty cool costume. I think they could have given it like maybe a little bit weather effects, but I guess I was asking for too much. I like the wide eyes. That's pretty accurate. I'd probably give this... I think if it had more weathering, it would look really damn good, but they didn't, so I'm gonna give it maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Arkham Trilogy. This is from Arkham Knight. I've always loved this costume. In my opinion, it looks really good. The whole knighted aspect, the shiny metallic and all that. Unfortunately, this game is really afraid to turn anything metallic. For some reason, they did it on the shoulders and the hands. It looks like it's armored, but on the chest, it just kind of looks like someone painted over it, which I guess is what Lego does, but I don't know what this part is for. Like, maybe they should have just put the belt right there. It just looks like a ugly big gray piece, unlike in the game. I think the boots are alright, but it's that one part that's kind of distracting. Also, the shoulders aren't black. They're like white, a grayish white, kind of like the main part. I don't know. I think it should have been a little bit more darker to catch the feeling of the game. I like the protruding ears. They're long, and they did it with here, so that's a nice touch. But otherwise, yeah, I don't like the big gray piece right here, and I don't like how the shoulders are more white than black, so I'd probably give this a 6.5 out of 10. Batman and Robin. I like the all black. They at least kept that part. I think they kind of did a weird thing where the whole suit is kind of black right here. Also, the eyeliner is black too, but I guess I get why they don't do that, because then the eyes would look humanoid, which would look weird. It would have been nice if they did do that, the eye makeup, but instead they just gave it the big old wide eyes. It's weird. It's like this should be the opposite colors from the main body. The main body should be like this matte, darkish black, grayish, while the album should be like this dark black on the main body. I think they kind of reverse the colors. Also, where's the bad nipples? Come on, guys. Where is it? I need my bad nipples, but they didn't add it, so I like the stripes and all that, but it feels like the costume just doesn't have it. It looks like they were trying more than what it actually is. I do like the detail, though. Maybe, again, if they reverse the colors, it look better, but it looks alright. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10, probably. Batman 66. This is Adam West, and I think they I get the big white stripe on the nose. I get that's supposed to be like his iconic thing, but I feel like they just made it too big, the big white stripe. I feel like it should be more smaller, more squiggly, instead of like this huge white line like someone ran it with marker or something. Like here it looks like a small squiggly line, like you can tell it was drawn, while here it's like they just went ramble on it. So I don't like that they did that. I don't like how they do these cape pieces right here. It makes it look a little bit off-putting, but I get why they do that. I feel like it's just a little bit too blue. Maybe it should be like blackish, darkish blue, but this one is too light blue. Like the face model is way too contrasting with each other, I guess. Like they should be blending in, not fighting each other, and it just looks like they're fighting each other. So also the boxer briefs, I think these actually look better than all the other ones. The one with the stupid triangles, these actually look like briefs. So if it wasn't for the big squiggly line, I think it should be smaller. I'd probably give it like an 8, but instead I'm gonna give it probably a 6 again. Yeah, it's just the colors and the squiggly line. Maybe a 5.5. Nah, I'm gonna give it a 5. I love the suit, but I don't think they did that great of a job with it in this game. Batman 89. This is the Keaton version. It looks really cool. I like the little detail they add that you can't move your, you can't move your neck thing. That's funny. But I think the ears are fine. The helmet's fine. It has like that sharp look. The album could be a little bit slightly bigger. It looks a little bit squished there, but I get it. It's alright. Maybe that's just nitpicking. Detail is alright. I like the ab parts. The belt should be like a little bit droopier. Maybe like a little bit like over here, around here. But I get why they do it. Oh, Legos have like these weird empty parts right there. I think it looks fine. The suit is supposed to be plain. I'd probably give it maybe an 8. Like it really does capture Batman. Like it looks good. It's solid. It didn't do too much detail, but I think that's the point of the suit. So I'd probably give it an 8, 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 is way more reasonable. Next up, Batman Ninja. Batman Ninja is from an animated movie that I did not watch. So all I know is that got isekai'd into Japan or something. So this is a lot going on. I really like the helmet. There's a ton of stuff going on right there. It really just captured that samurai vibe. I'm not sure how well they could have, thrown into a Lego game just because there's so much detail going on in the head, but I think they did alright. Not crazy, but it looks good enough. Body looks fine. I like that they kept the purple sash. It really does kind of go hard, I'm not gonna lie, especially in Lego version. Again, the sides look a little bit weird, but I do think it looks fine. I'm not sure why it has those 4 dots right there. Oh, like they're more apparent than the picture right here. If the ears were a little bit longer, then maybe not like super large, like maybe like right here, I think it would have been perfect. But it does go really hard, I'm not gonna lie. They put a lot of detail into this and it looks really good. Not a big fan of it in the movie and all that from what it looks here, but I do like the way it looks in Lego. Maybe the head should be slightly more slimmer because it looks like it's bigger than these side samurai pieces, whatever they're called. But I think it looks fine. I'm gonna give it an 8. It looks pretty good with all the detail and all that. Batman Beyond, my favorite suit of all time. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like what they did with the helmet here. I think the face mask is pretty good, but this is the Bruce version, kind of like from the Arkham City game, where it looks sort of weird with the white part, but it doesn't have it here. So it kind of looks like the not Arkham City, Arkham Knight version, the one with like the weird face mask kind of thing that blocks the mouth. But the biggest problem is the protruding ears. It should be like solid up, like protruding up instead of like protruding out. I don't know why they did that. Could have just copy pasted from the other helmets, but I don't know. I really don't like that it's doing that. Like even the style right here looks like it's protruding up. For some reason they decided to make it sideways. It looks really off-putting. Still looks incredibly good. The body is perfect. Body is perfect, but I don't like the protruding helmet. If it wasn't protruding like to the side and instead of going up, I would have ranked this a 10 out of 10, but I'm going to rank it, I want to give it a 9, but I know I can't just because of the helmet. But it does look extremely good. I'm going to give it an 8.5. Batman Begins. Such a solid suit. I really like it. The ears are fine. The helmet has like this really squintish look, like he's serious. I really like that. The detail is spot on. I like that as well. Honestly, I'm going to... Like, there's not much to talk about. It's like the... where was it? This one, the Keaton version, but actually defined, like it evolved from it. So I'm probably gonna give this a 9. It looks incredibly solid. It's plain, sure, but I think this is like Batman. This is Batman as well. Also, the details again are just spot on. It looks incredibly well. It doesn't go over the top. It's really good. A 9 out of 10. Batman Prime. Batman Prime is the original Legos, I guess. When you first look at Lego Batman, this is how he kind of looked like, I guess. Kind of doesn't look like it. The detail is different. The belt is different. It kind of just looks like its own thing. Even the helmet is different. Like, they didn't really capture it that well. But as a standalone thing, if you told me this was just like a standalone thing, it looks alright. Nothing crazy. It doesn't have much detail, and the details, like, what even is that belt? Well, it kind of looks like it opens in the middle. I don't know. It looks kind of funny. It looks alright. Nothing crazy. Maybe a 6.5, just because it doesn't really capture the likeness of what it's trying to capture. So it's kind of weird. Looks alright, but when you compare it to the original version, I'm not sure what it's trying to copy, because it just did a lot of things different. Again, the main chest detail is completely different, so I don't know. I don't know what they were going for. Batman the Animated Series, 10 out of 10, or at least I wish I could give it that, but man, I don't know, like, there's something like kinda a little bit off about it. I want to give it a 10 out of 10. I think the boots are a little bit too high. I think it should be like right here, then it would have been perfect, but instead of like rising up all the way here, looks a little bit off, but I think it looks really amazing. Probably a 9 out of 10. I think the helmet is a bit too squished. Maybe like make it slightly slimmer, but again, I'm pretty sure they reuse assets, so it is what it is. But I give it a 9. Maybe it's just nostalgia. If the boots weren't like protruding that high, then I probably would have given a 10, but it is what it is. I'm gonna give it a 9 just because I really like this suit. Also, I think the hand should be slightly higher, like at least right here, but they didn't. So, but I really do love this suit. It's simple, it's effective. Honestly, I'm gonna bump it down a little bit just because of the gloves and the shoes. Probably an 8. An 8 is fine. Batman Brave of the Bold. That's not a great picture for the eyes. Let me see if I can get a better one. There you go. Way better. Way better. Batman Brave of the Bold. I'm not the craziest fan of Brave of the Bold. This outfit looks kind of weird in the helmet. Like, right here, the full black is like encapsulating the cowl and all that, the same as right here. But then there's this missing spot right here. Why didn't they fill that in? It just looks strange. I don't get why they didn't do that. Kind of really off-putting. But otherwise, aside from that, I like the briefs. I like the dual colors. Kind of like they're trying to do the comic shading. It looks alright. I'm kind of digging it. I feel like the arms are a little bit too high, but that's alright. Maybe like slightly lower it to here. It looks good. The only problem I have is the helmet. It looks off-putting. I'm going to give it a 7.5. Really like the bright colors. They really capture that, but it's just the helmet. If it wasn't for the helmet, I probably would have given it a 9, but looks alright. Looks alright. Next up is Costume Party. This is exclusive to this game. Doesn't really look like Batman, but it is what it is. It's like trying to be a pirate. Weird goatee going on, kind of beard now. It's alright. Nothing crazy. I get what they're going for, pirate Batman, but it's not a lot of Batman. There's mostly a lot of pirate, but it looks alright. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna give it a 6 just because they tried. It at least captures a pirate vibe, but I don't know, a lot of clashing colors going on here. It looks alright. This one is Bronze Age. This is a classic. I really like the bright colors. The briefs are a wrong color. They're supposed to be black, but for some reason are like light blue along with the costume. I don't get why they did that. Otherwise, if it was black, this would have been perfect. I really like the bright colors again. I'm gonna give this, I want to give it a 9, but because of those briefs, I'm gonna give it an 8. It's a really solid outfit, but I don't like that the briefs are not black. Would it have been so much trouble to just color them black? I don't know, but it looks really good so far. Next up is the Blackest Night, Blackest Lantern Batman. I'm really digging all the detail that's going on here. I like the giant triangle protruding from his body. That looks pretty cool. I like the detail going on. You can tell this is like a undead Batman. I really wish they would have made the face more skeletonish, but it's a kid's game, I guess, so they couldn't. But I don't know why they give him like these weird shoulder pauldrons right here, like it's a suit of armor. They should be protruding up, not down. But I guess they are kind of reusing assets, but it's fine. I get little nitpick. I think the details carries it pretty hard. I think the cape is a little bit outshadowed here, but it looks alright. I like the detail. I like the colors. I think the cape should be a little bit bluer, like the pauldrons and the cape and all that. Just to color contrast what's going on here. It looks like it's a blue, while here it's just all black, but it looks fine. I really like the detail. It looks plainish until you see the body. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. It looks solid enough. Dark Knights of Steel. This goes hard. I'm not gonna lie. This honestly goes pretty hard. I really like what's going on here. This is the Dark Knight, literally. I like the detail going on the chest. I like the pauldrons. Unlike the other ones, they're always protruding, but this one they kind of gave it like the knight detail on the shoulders right here. The line that you see in knight's armor and all that. I really like the pants too. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a 10. Maybe call me glazed, maybe just because I like knights and all that, but I think this one looks really good. You could argue that the helmet should be a little bit more triangular like it is in the comic. It looks more like a knight helmet, while here it just kind of looks like they copy pasted the other helmets. But I think it goes really hard. That's just my opinion, and I really like knights, so I think I'm gonna give this one a 10. It looks really solid. It's something I'd actually use throughout the game. It looks really good. At least that's my opinion. I'm giving this a 10. It looks really good. Next up, the Dawn of Justice from Batman v Superman, his normal outfit. I really like the detail going on all over the suit, but why'd they just stop on the chest and the legs? Why didn't they do it on the arms? As far as I can see, they didn't do it on the arms, and it looks really off-putting. It looks like they just kind of gave up while they were doing it. If it had the details on the arms, I think this suit would have looked amazing, but it kind of looks just weird when they just did it on the chest and the legs. From what I'm seeing on the picture here, the arms does have like this rubberish tire detail as well, so I don't know why they didn't include it either. It's kind of weird. Belt looks a bit too shiny. I think it should be darker, but I really like the small ears. They nailed it on that. I think the helmet looks fine. Maybe a little bit too much, but I think that's just because they reuse helmets and all that, so I think it looks alright. I like it. It's not crazy. The arms are a little bit off-putting, but I think I'm gonna give it I want to give it an 8 for the detail, but in my heart I want to give it a 7 because they didn't do it on the arms. But I'll go in the middle. I'll give it a 7.5. It looks really good. It's just that if the arms had the detail, I would have given it like a 9 or something. But it does look really solid. I like it. Next up is Final Battle Batman. I've never heard about this one, and I usually know some Batman knowledge, not all of it, of course. It looks like a very generic Batman. I don't know why they made it into a t-shirt while it should be like a tank top. That's kind of weird. Kind of just looks like some dude wearing a normal outfit but with a Batman cowl, which I guess it is, but I don't know. I think they should have gotten rid of the sleeves. Like they were scared of making his arms showing too much. It just looks off-putting here. Other than that, I think the colors are wrong too. It should be like a khaki instead of black. If it was khaki, it would have looked more military-ish, but with black, it just looks off-putting. I don't know. I don't really like it. I don't really vibe with it either. I like the beard. I like that they included that detail. The destroyed bat mark is white for some reason when it should be black. Another weird choice. I get that it shouldn't be 1 for 1, but if you're basing it off it, then it kind of should be 1 for 1. So, I don't know. The colors are all whack. The only good detail I like is the beard. I'm gonna give it like, also the sleeves are just look off. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Also, I get why they had to include the cape for gameplay reasons, but I think it would have hit harder without it. But I get why they have to, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Not my favorite outfit, just kind of looks like a dude wearing a cowl, which I guess that's what Batman is, but it looks like any generic muscled up dude wearing a cowl, so I don't really like it. 4 out of 10 just because it's the nice beard detail. Next up is Ice Armor, Stay Frosty. This is from Batman and Robin. I really like all the silver detail going on everywhere. I like that they captured that part. They kind of fixed the bottom part too. It doesn't look that weird like it does in the movie. I'm digging it. I'm digging the silver accents and all that. I think the head is like protruding too much, while in the movie it looks kind of skinny, but again, they just reuse it, so it's fine. But I really am digging those silver accents. The detail looks fine too on the chest. I think they missed a lot on the arm. Yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. I don't know why they just stop on the arm. They're all like, God forbid we put detail on the arms, but I don't know. If it had the arm detail, this suit would have probably been a 9 in my eyes. It rocks really hard, those silver axes. I really like them, but it's missing them on the arms and it just looks very boring. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 again, but if it had the silver accent, I would have given it a 9. I dig those silver accents. They look really cool. Gotham by Gaslight. I saw the movie of this. I liked it, but I always like that weird stitch he has in the middle. You can like kind of tell, like maybe he messed up on that part, or maybe that's where it started. The sewing, you can tell like the cowl is made out of like sewing patterns. I wish that they actually didn't all over the cowl instead of just one big ugly mark in the middle. It looks off-putting. Like, make it subtle, don't make it so obvious like in the picture right here. But other than that, I really dig the cape right here, the big I don't know what you would call it, like cloak. Kind of looks like a cloak. I really like that. The yellow detail kind of adds more to it compared to the original, so I like that. The details on the chest look fine. You can tell this is a, you know, like a what's the word for it, this kind of age, like a steampunk kind of Batman. I like it. I like the shoulders. I really like the cowl kind of thing. I like how he looks like he needs all these tools because he needs them. I'm gonna give it an 8 just for the cowl. If it didn't have this ugly stitch mark, I would have given it a 9. Make it subtle. I think the body looks fine though. It looks really good, so I'm gonna give it an 8. Again, ugly stitches. Could have made it more subtle, but it is what it is. Golden Age. Now, this might be a controversial take, but am I the only one that messes with the purple gloves? They kind of go hard, I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I've always loved these purple gloves. I don't know why. They mess with all the colors on the suit, but they just look so like charming. Maybe that's not the right word, but also this is a perfect use of the protruding helmet, the one that go to the side. This is what it was made for, because look at that comic picture right there. This is what the protruding helmet is made for. This looks perfect on him. The briefs could have been maybe like they could have added a little bit of blue to add like that comic shade, but I think it looks fine enough. I'm really digging this outfit. I don't know why. I've always loved the purple glove. It looks solid. I'm gonna give this a 9. Maybe that's a controversial take, but it just has charm to it. I like the sides and all that. It looks really good. Maybe just to me. I don't like that they always put this cape thing right here, but I guess they do to kind of look like the cape is adding to it, so we're just gonna ignore that. But it looks fine. It looks good. I like it. 9. Night Fight. I've never heard of this one, but I'm not gonna lie, he kind of goes hard. 2025, so I guess that's why they're adding like really recent suits. I like all the details going on. I like how they're showing the human skin right there. For some reason they didn't want to do that on the Final Battle Batman, the one we saw earlier, but they did it on this one, so I do like that detail. Detail kind of goes hard here, I'm not gonna lie. I like the scar that they put on the face mask too. I think the pauldrons are kind of weak. If they did the cape on the side like in that picture right there, this would have been a 10 out of 10 hands down. But I'm digging the blue. It looks really solid. I'm digging the breeze. I'm digging the details. I think the boots should have been a little bit less blue to add that silver color that's going on here. But I guess you know that's why they did it. But it looks really solid. I'm not sure what those side parts are. They're not right here from what I can see, but they look really cool. I'm digging this suit. I don't know why. Like, I might. Do I want to give it a 9? I think if it had like these protruding armor going up on the neck, it would have been like a 9. But I'm gonna give it an 8. It's really solid. I like it. All the detail going on. It's just missing a couple details I would have liked, but it's good. I like it. You might think it's a little bit too much, and I would probably agree, but it looks alright. 8. Nightmare suit. I've never really messed with this one. This was always a weird one. The Snyder one. I think the goggles are way too small here. Maybe that's just where I paused. Nope, they're just really small. I don't like the way they look. They look like couldn't even bother to fit his face. I think that they made the goggles a bit more bigger, like go on here and here. It would have looked better. It just looks silly. It looks dumb. I'm digging the outfit though. It looks alright. They actually bothered to put like some details right here. It looks dirty. Not completely dirty, but it looks simple enough. I think that they made the goggles bigger. It would have looked good. But otherwise, it just looks okay. Nothing crazy. If they added like the... I don't know why it's orange here. Yeah, it should be black. I think if it was... I guess they did it to like color contrast. Otherwise, it just would have been all black and black. So, it's alright. I think if they just made the goggles bigger. It's those small goggles. They look so silly. I'm going to give it a 7. If the goggles were bigger, I would have given it like an 8.5. But it looks alright. Also, they didn't put the cape here. But in an outfit prior, they did. So, on another suit. So, they can do it. I don't know. I guess they just pick and choose, I guess. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. This is exclusive to the game. I think there was a lot going on here, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely not my favorite. The neon blue kind of just clashes with the yellow. I don't know, the yellow looks way too bright. It's like the blue is desperately trying to be the center of attention, but it's just not. It's the yellow. Get out the blue, and I think it looked pretty cool. Like turn it all black, the blue parts, maybe. I don't really mess with the blue. I think it just contrasted with the yellow pretty hard. I get, is it like a techno vibe? I'm reading the description, but I don't know. I don't really mess with it. It looks a bit too toyish, too... like the colors are contrasting way too hard with each other. I'm gonna give it a 7. Nah, 6.5. I just don't really like the blue. It's contrasting with the yellow way too hard. Rainbow Batman, and what a month, because if you know this month, it's Pride Month, and maybe that's what it represents. Obviously not, but if you like rainbow colors, this is for you, I guess. I also just noticed like there's a bunch of sprinkles around the suit. Like right here they put red dots, and on the orange part they put yellow dots. I like little details like that. I'm gonna bump this suit probably to also like the red inner layer going on right here, so I kind of like oof, oh man, it made me sneeze. The bright colors. I like what's going on right here. Again, they took their own liberties. It's fine. I kind of like it. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It looks fine enough. You know, if you like your colors wacky, then sure, you probably bump it up higher, but it looks alright. Again, it's rainbow colors. It's not Batman, but I do like what they tried to do. So. Party music. I always like night outfits with my Batman. This one is like a party metal kind of Batman, at least from what I'm seeing right here. It has like the rock and roll sign right here. I like it. Nothing crazy. I don't know why he has a beard, I guess, but it does look cool. I really like the silver detail right here on the helmet. I like the rock and roll. I like the little details, the chain. Maybe it's going a little bit too far, but I'm digging it. It's not crazy, but I am digging it. I'm gonna give it a... I want to give it an 8. I think I'm gonna give it an 8. I really like the detail going on. Like, it's its own thing, and I can respect that. So I'm gonna give it an 8. and it's also exclusive to the game. So yeah, it really is its own thing, and it looks solid enough. I'm gonna give it an 8. Mask of Tengus is definitely the Batman outfit of all time. It's not really Batman, but it looks pretty cool, I can't lie. I think the helmet could use a little bit more detail, like in the comic right here. Maybe the colors could be better, but I guess that's like the shading, so this is how it looks like normally. It looks alright. It's not Batman like at all, other than the helmet, but it doesn't really look like a bat, honestly. I like the little smile going on. I think the smile could have been bigger. Just kind of looks like it's slightly happy, like a yay kind of face. So it looks alright. Maybe the ears were a little bit bigger. It looked alright, but I would give it a 6. Nothing crazy. I like the blue. It's not trying to be like too much, so I can respect that, but yeah, I think a 6 is fine enough. Nothing crazy. It is what it is. Retro video game. If you don't know why these old video games look purplish, kind of like Jason did in his own game, Jason Voorhees, it's because of the old console. So, I like the colors. They're very neonish, very retro again. I like the pixels that they actually bought to put the pixels here. It's just that it looks very bright, very off-putting. It's not really Batman. Batman more darker colors, but I can respect when, you know, he tries different things, different colors. I'm gonna give it a 6 just because I like the pixel details and all that. The neon blue, it's just that the purple is way too bright. It's almost hurting my eyes, so 6 out of 10. Sonar suit. I like the blue eyes, and it doesn't look like he has that in the movie right here, but I guess it might be a game thing. I've never seen the movie, so I like the details. I like the silver accent. The belt looks nice. It maybe should have been a gold instead of like a bright yellow. It looks fine. There's not a lot of detail to really criticize, but I think the ab detail could have been a little bit better. He has a 6-pack, where here he has a 4-pack. Maybe could have added a little bit more detail, but it looks alright. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Maybe the eyes are just too distracting. I don't know. If they were white like the other suits from the Batman movies, then it would be fine. Also, the ears should be longer, the protruding ones, not the short ones. It's kind of like the medium length, not the big length or the small length. This is medium. It should be longer, but it looks alright. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. The Batman. It looks alright. Maybe it's just the helmet. It could use a little bit more detail, like right here. Also, the ears should be the longer kind, not the medium ones. If it was a longer one, it'd be cooler. Maybe I can see like the detail right here, but I don't know if that's just what every other helmet has. Maybe I can kind of see it, but not really. I think it should be more detail and all that. Also, without the eye paint, it just looks like any other Batman helmet, so that's kind of disappointing. Cape looks alright. I wish they added like the shoulder neck armor that he has here, but he doesn't. It's just a big old cowl. It just looks reused, so I don't like that. It kind of just doesn't really capture the essence of it, in my opinion. The details in the chest are fine. I don't know why they added these gray accents. I feel like it'd just be a full metallic black, but it looks alright. I really like the detail going on here, the detail on the legs. It's just the helmet is a huge buzzkill. The helmet kind of kills it for me. I'm gonna give it a 6. If the helmet was a little bit better designed, then maybe, but I think the details in the chest are carrying it a little bit too hard, and it's just alright. I really wish they did better on the helmet though. Grey Ghost, not really a Batman outfit, but it is pretty cool that they added this in the first place. I really like the white going on. They call him the Grey Ghost for a reason. I'm really digging the white. It looks very shiny, very clean, kind of like the show right here from the anime series. They even added the wrinkles too on his face. It looks really good. I'm really digging that hat. Maybe it should be gray instead of white, but I think the white is like a beautiful contrast with the gray. I'm really digging it. Might give this an 8. Again, it's not Batman, but I like when they do this, like a very big color contrast right here, but it works. It works with the gray, so I think that's fine. So I'm gonna give it an 8. It looks really good. I really like the hat. Dark Knight Returns. I know a lot of people really like this, but I think it should be like a slightly darker blue, maybe a little bit more darker. I get in the movie that sometimes it's like bright blue, darker blue, it kind of changes. I think this is fine. I think it's too shiny. It should be more matte. If it was matte, it would have been perfect, but the shiny is kind of off-putting. I think it looks fine. I like how they added the wrinkles right here. That's pretty cool. The big bat signal isn't even right. There should be like yellow there, but there's not. It kind of just looks like the absolute Batman one. But it looks alright. Nothing. I feel like some detail would have benefited it. I like how they kept the small Batman ears. That's accurate. So, man, this is tough. I really like this outfit. I like the detail on the pants, but I don't know. There's just some off-putting details about it. I'm gonna give this one a 7. I kind of want to give it an 8, but I don't know. I feel like the bat signal should be better. The mask, the colors are too shiny. I don't know. Maybe you can say 8, but I'm gonna give it a 7. It just looks alright. A lot of weird details added to it. Dark Knight, I want to give this a 10. This is a really iconic outfit, but man, I feel like there's just something missing. Maybe the belt is just too dark. Maybe it should be like yellow. If it was yellow, I think that would have been a good color contrast. I feel like it's just too dark. It looks more like an orange instead of a yellow. It looks really good though. They captured the detail perfectly on the chest. Maybe the legs need some detail too, but it looks alright. Nothing. I don't want to say it's not great because it is a really good outfit, but maybe if the legs had the same detail it does here, maybe it would have been better. If the belt was more yellow instead of orange. Still a very solid bat outfit though. I really like it. It should have the longer ears. Nah, I think medium's fine. I think it looks good. I'm gonna give it an 8. Vampire Batman. Now this goes pretty hard. I really like the long ears. They actually cared about which ears they were putting on this suit, because look at those big old chompers. Those are pretty big ears. I'm really digging this outfit. I don't know why. Like it obviously it can't be this Vampire Batman. They have to tone it down, but it looks really good. I'm digging the red eyes. It kind of reminds me of Flashpoint Batman, Bruce Wayne's father. It looks really solid. I'm digging it. It looks like if Batman turned evil or something. I'm gonna give this a 9, honestly. I really like the detail. It looks solid. It looks like an evil Batman, what he should look like. This looks like an evil Batman, and it captures it really damn well. I also like the belt too and all that. Like, you can tell this was Batman and then he got like turned into a vampire or something. I'm not sure, but maybe the logo should be yellow. If it was yellow, that would have been perfect. That would have been Chef's Kiss, the yellow circle logo. The yellow circle logo. That would have been perfect, but it is what it is. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm really digging this outfit for some reason. All the colors just kind of work. I really wish it had that yellow circle. I would have given it a 10 if it was. Next up is 0 Year. I think there was another costume from this series too. It kind of looks like Year One, but like upgraded, more armored-ish. I'm not sure I really like it as much as Year One. The beauty of Year One was that it was so simple with the purple gloves. This one kind of just looks like that, but more modern, more upgraded, more tactical. He doesn't have the protruding ear. They gave it the protruding ear helmet, like the ones that go to the side. Maybe it would have been better, but I don't really like that they gave it this helmet. It looks fine, but from the comic right here, it looks like it should have just been the protruding one, the one that Batman Beyond has these. I freaking love that the Year One has this. If we would click on it, I love how it looks, the protruding helmet, the ones to the side on this one. I think they should have just given it to the one we were just talking about right here. I don't know why they didn't, but it just looks alright. Nothing crazy. Maybe there's a little bit too much going on. I think they actually should have cut down on the detail on the hands, but it looks okay. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't know. It's just too much clashing with each other, too much unnecessary detail. I don't know. It just looks meh. Next up is Zur NR. This outfit is like in every Batman game ever. I get why they include it. It's a pretty big part in the Batman mythos. This Batman's subconscious when he loses himself or something. It's very unique, of course. It's very different from Batman. It has the purple and red going on. It's never been my favorite suit ever. I think a lot of people feel like that too. It's just too much going on, but I get why. It's like a Batman backup plan that's kind of like unstable but stable at the same time. It's like opposite day. It's always been different, but I've never really liked it like that. I'm gonna give it a 6 because they actually like put the detail, the stitches right here and all that. Just for the detail alone, I'm gonna give it a 6. I really wish they did like this not protruding, like this outward cape thing that's going on here instead of just adding the detail on the chest, but I like it. 6 probably. Yeah, 6. I just never really messed with this suit. Batman Serial. This is definitely different. This is from the original black and white comic 1943. Reesh. It's been a long time Batman's been around. I think that they give it longer ears, it would have looked better like here, but instead they gave it the short ears for some reason. Again, I don't really like this cowl cape thing detail going on, but I get why they add it. Otherwise it would just be like boring nothing detail right there. Why did they add the detail on the bat symbol? I think it should have just been plain because that's what this suit is. It looks incredibly plain, but they're adding detail to it when I think they shouldn't. One of the cases of adding too much to something that doesn't really need it. It's just a black and white Batman with not a lot of detail going on. It's okay, nothing crazy. I might give it a... If the ears were longer, maybe I'd give it a 6. But I'm just going to give it a 5. I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it. Especially the game version. I kind of like the real life version way more than the game version. The briefs are too short. The detail on the logo is too much. The ears should be longer. I just don't really mess with it. Lego Batman the video game. 10 out of 10. This is what I think of when I think of Lego Batman. It's so plain, but it works. It's amazing. This is what I think of Batman when you say Lego. I think this guy. This is Lego Batman, pretty much to a T. It's perfect. It's not too much. It's not too little. Everything just works. It looks perfect. Like, what more can I really say about it? The plain detail and all. They even gave it a unique mask too, which is what they should have done with other outfits, but they just kind of reuse stuff. So that's unfortunate, but I love the way it looks here in the game. This is a classic. It's a 10 out of 10, pretty much hands down. Next up is the Lego Batman movie. I think what carried this outfit was the voice. It kind of is like a Batman Begins, kind of, with the yellow mark. The Keaton version, yeah. It kind of looks like the Keaton, but with blue eyes. I'm really digging those blue eyes. I don't know why. They look pretty good. I don't know. It's plain, it's simple. It looks like the Keaton version, but kind of upgraded. I like how they gave it unique ears as well. They only give the unique ears to the, I guess, actual Lego Batman, not the other, Batmans that aren't based off Lego. This one goes pretty hard. I'm gonna give it a 9. Maybe you could say the blue eyes are a little bit too much, too eye-catching, but I'm really digging it. It's simple, it's effective, it's Batman, and I'm really digging it again. I'm gonna give it a 9. Bat suit. What is going on that face? Oh, that's Jim's mustache. And I don't know why they added it. It looks like a big creepy smile on the first look, but I get that's his mustache. This was from the comics 2015. It just doesn't really look like it. They added way too much detail. He doesn't even have the mustache in this version, so I guess they just added it to be funny. I can appreciate that if they did. So it just looks like a very creepy smile on first glance, but I like the little mustache part when you realize it is a mustache. But I think they just added way too much silver detail. Again, not too much, not too little. I think on the pants it kind of fits, but on the chest they just added way too much. I dig the Batman logo though, that's pretty cool. But this is definitely a suit that it does a lot. Maybe if it had a cape, it would have looked better. But also maybe remove the mustache. But burp. I guess it just would have looked like Bruce at that point. They're trying to make it look like Jim, and they can't really do that in the game unless they add the mustache. But it just looks like a weirdly creepy smile. So I don't know. I really want to like it, but I feel like it's just too much going on. Maybe like remove some of the pants detail. I don't know, but I guess that's what the suit is. I feel like maybe commit to it at that point. Add more detail on the arms, up here on the chest and all that. Add more detail like it is on the comic right here. But it's okay. I don't know. It's a hard suit to love. Maybe if it just had a cape. I'm going to give it a 6. It's alright, but nothing crazy. I feel like there's just way too much going on. Maybe like commit to it. I don't know. Alright, so I did all of the Batman suits. I did one Jim one by accident because I thought it was Batman, so I'm just going to include that as well. But we're going to tally everything, rank it on the drip meter, and we'll see what we get. Alright, so I've checked everything. I've counted the numbers. I kind of changed some of my opinion. Oh man. I kind of changed some of my opinions from the beginning. Not a lot of them. Oh my god. Lego Batman, what are you doing to me? But yeah, we shall start. I think for longer games, I think the passing score will be 200, but for shorter games, it will be 100. So let's just start from the beginning. Absolute Batman 7, All In Batman 4, Arkham Asylum 6.5, Batfam 2, Armored Suit Batman vs Superman 7.5, Arkham Knight 6.5, Batman and Robin 6, Batman Year 1966 5, Batman 89, it was a 7.5 but I bumped it to an 8, Batman Ninja 8, Batman Beyond 8.5, Batman Begins 9, Batman Prime 5, Batman the Animated Series 8, Batman Brave and the Bold 7.5, Batman Costume Party 4, Bronze Age 8, a Costume Party was 6, but I changed it to 4. It was just kind of meh. Why is the quality so low in the background? There you go. Costume Party was 6, but I changed it to a 4. It's just kind of meh the more I look at it. Black Lantern is 7.5. Dark Knight of Steel is 10. Probably my favorite from the batch so far of this game. Dawn of Justice 7.5. Final Battle 4. Ice Armorer 7.5. Gotham by Gaslight 8. Golden Age 9. Night Fight 8. Nightmare Suit 7. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. It was a 6.5, but I changed to a 5.5. The more I look at it, it's just more meh. Rainbow Batman is 6. Party Music is 8. Mask of Tengu is 6. Retro Video Game Batman is 6. Sonar Suit is 6.5. The Batman is 5.5. The Grey Ghost is 8. The Dark Knight Returns is 7. The Dark Knight is 8. Vampire Batman is 9. Zero Year was a 6, but I turned it to a 5. The more I look at it, the more it's just kind of ugly. Zura and R is a 6. Batman Serial is a 5. Lego Batman the video game is a 10. It's perfect. Lego Batman Movie 9 and Batsuit Jim is a 6. That is every Batman suit if one included Jim's suit because that was by accident. But does it get to the 200 mark? Does Lego Batman, at least the Batman portions, pass the drip check? Drumroll please. The answer is with a resounding 295.5 points out of the threshold goal of 200. Batman does indeed pass the drip check. Legacy of the Dark Knight, at least the Batman portion. There's still a lot more costumes that could have been covered, but I'm only doing the Batman portion. I really do like most of the suits in this game. There are some weird design choices I don't really mess with, but I guess they took their own liberties, which is fine, I suppose. But I think a lot of good outweighs the bad. There is definitely a lot of good suits in this game, and they look pretty cool. So that is Legacy of the Dark Knight. Very cool costume selection. I think next week I might do Kratos. The grading system is a little bit meh right now. Maybe I need to work on it. But for now, I think 100 for short games, 200 for long games. I'm going to rank probably every Kratos outfit next week, next Sunday, if I get around to it. So, yeah, look out for that. That's Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. It does indeed pass the drip check. And that's about it. Take care.